Right. My dear students, good morning. The last time on our studies, we got to a point where we needed to talk about the process of instructional designing. So I'm doing another short video to do the concluding part of the Unit 1 so that we can easily move into Unit 2 during our face-to-face interaction on Thursday. I'll share my screen now and we'll take it from there. Right. So, as I was saying, we got to the point where we wanted to talk about the process of curriculum designing or designing an instructional material. The process involves, for us as tutors or instructional designers, there is the need for us to, in the course of development of curriculum materials, teacher education programs, interventions, etc., there is the need for us to follow what I term the cycle approach to design and formative evaluation. Cycle approach to design on one side, which should, of course, be followed by the formative evaluation. In as much as we try to solve a particular problem in teaching an aspect of a course, I believe that having come across face-to-face with a challenge in the classroom, there will be the need for us to conduct what we call a preliminary investigation. In the course of the preliminary investigation, we would do an analysis of the problem. We'll break down the problem into various components for ease of understanding. Then we'll follow this up with a context analysis. What are some of the things that are needed or should be a part of our understanding and the solution to that problem? What are some of the relevant issues that should be made a part of the lesson? What are some of the items, content that is needed? In what context should we look at the problem? Indeed, in the course of doing all this, I believe that the teacher would have come across or would have developed his knowledge of the subject matter. So with the preliminary investigation taken care of, we are able to develop a prototype of the solution, the prototype of the design lesson, the prototype of how the lesson should be taught or handled, how the problem should be solved. And this prototype can now be tried out by at least 2 teachers in their classroom. And when they try it out, the result or report from their trial will give us the second draft of our design. This second draft is then used for another level of appraisal by other teachers in the department. Here, the other teachers in the department will also bring their inputs to bear. Contributions will be sought from different teachers. who are also in the department, or in other words, who are also a part of the team, the teacher design team that we spoke about earlier on. And their reports will give birth to the third draft, which would now be tried out in the field. At least we can have about 6 teachers try this out in the field and use the support materials in their classrooms. And when the field tryout also tends to be successful, then we can come out with the final version of our ICT solution to a particular problem. So what we are actually going to be seeing is that there will be a combination of preliminary study, an expert review, which would give us what we term validity. In other words, that the solution we are finding is actually for the problem for which we intend it to be. And then we try it out and have appraisal by others, which gives us the practicality, the extent to which what we are designing can actually be used, before finally we get to the achievement component, which would be carried out in the field test. So the way forward is that the teacher design teams will need to have teacher support materials. The designed instruction or the designed solution must have some support materials that show how to do it. How is the designed material to be used? This should be in the form of a procedural specifications. It focuses on, or should focus on, the lesson preparation, the computer-based program, in this case, the subject content, how the lesson should be executed, and then finally, assessment of the learning, as in assessing the pupils who would sit in the class when this new material is being used. Then we come to the professional development aspect, preferably in combination with exemplary curriculum materials. We should be able to use the new designed material with exemplary curriculum materials so that it lays a good foundation and shows that we are moving according to what is expected of us or what we desire to achieve. It should be a model of the classroom situation or should be in the classroom. Indeed, when we have a design, there should be a criteria for evaluating its quality. So the criteria for evaluating the quality of the design or the product or the processes of teaching or solving a particular problem includes legitimacy or validity. Is the design based on the state-of-the-art knowledge? This is a question that will need to be asked. Secondly, practicality. How consistent is the operation? Consistency intended, perceived, and operational. Can the design be implemented over and over again? We need to check out practicality when we evaluate the quality of a design, so that if the design cannot be implemented over and over again, then we can draw the conclusion that there is room for improvement. Its quality needs to be further worked on. Number 3 is effectiveness. Consistency, intended, experiential, or attained. Does the design achieve what it is aimed for? The learning effects, are we able to achieve them? Then the effectivity will also look at the cost benefits. Is it too expensive to design? These are some of the valid criteria that we need to take care of when we want to ensure that the design or the product or even the process meets the desired quality. And that brings us to the end of Unit 1, and we will begin Unit 2 pretty soon. Under Unit 2, we will be talking about instructional design. Till we meet again, this has been your humble servant, your teacher, Dr. Prince Edward Thomas. And I look forward to meeting you